To show you how to set up a printer for tear-off mode. The tear-off is used for either international printers at the packing station or office printers for pick-to-label prints. So first thing we need to do is it's set up, everything's closed up except we don't have a label through. So what we need to do is pop this guy open. We're going to pop the print head open, and then we're going to grab our label. We need to feed it over this guide. We need to have this close but not pinching the label. We need to feed this down through here. And similar guide here, we need this close to the label but not pinching it to the side. That way the label can still move freely. And we're going to feed the label through the print head here. Another important note, this red laser light needs to be in the middle of the label or somewhere under the label ribbon. The laser light is what detects the gap between the labels and knows when to stop printing. So that laser light needs to be there. Once we get it to here, this is pretty easy. We just close this guy, close that guy up, and that's the physical setup. Next we'll do settings. To set up a tear-off printer setting, for the new printer, we want to click the home button here. So this left top button goes home. And the first mode that comes up is print mode. We just need to make sure this print mode is set to tear off. If it's not set to tear off, you click either the up button or the bottom button to go through the menu. Once it's on tear off, you can just click home again. And now that it's paused, we just fed the label. So we're gonna click pause to unpause it. It will calibrate and find the gap in the label, and we're good to go. I'm going to show how to set up tear-off on the old style printer, the ZM400s. So everything's closed up right now, so we need to feed our label in. So we're going to pop this open. You can pop this. We actually don't need to pop that open for tear-off, but we want to take the label, feed it over this guide. We want the guide to be close to the label to keep it in line, but we don't want it to be snug and pinch the label. Next, we want to feed the label between here and under the purple guide. Again, we want this to be close to the label, but not pinching it. That way it can flow freely through the printer. Next, we want this laser light to be in the middle of the label somewhere. The laser light is what finds the gap between the labels and tells the printer when to stop feeding the label. We're just going to continue pulling this label forward. Once we get it under this print head, we just want to close this. And that is it for the physical setup. Next, we'll move on to the settings. All right, so in order to set an old printer to tear-off mode, we're just going to click the setup and exit button to enter settings. Sorry, this is actually set to, we were already in the menu for settings. The first setting that popped up should have been print mode. If it's not on print mode, you can just use the plus and minus buttons to navigate through the menu, but the first setting that should pop up is print mode. If it's set to peel off, we need it tear off. We want to click the select button. Select button will give us this plus and minus on either side. So now we can use the plus button to change it. And we want to move the setting until it says tear off. When it says tear off, we'll click select again to confirm it. And then we'll hit setup and exit once. It'll take us to the save menu. We want it to say permanent, so we'll click setup and exit again. And now this printer is set to tear off. To unpause it, we'll just click pause, and it should feed labels and calibrate at this point.